everybody. Great to be here. Great to see everyone. I wanted to start off the day by acknowledging the landscape. What we do in the landscape and how we relate to it is important. Wherever we are in the universe, the earth we stand on, the water around us, the wind, the air itself. I wanted to also acknowledge the traditional landowners, the Bunawan people and the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and recognise them as the traditional landowners of this land. I would also like to pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and the Aboriginal elders of other communities who may be here today. I also wanted to acknowledge all the space aficionados in the room and who have come before this event, and we're only here because of these people who have paved the way. We're non-traditional space actors, so they've done a lot of hard work for all of us to be able to have this conversation. So yeah, welcome today to the event. We're excited to have this, so thank you for coming. My name is Thomas Gooch. I'm the founder director of Office of Other Spaces. Who are we? We're a organisation that fuses landscape architecture with satellite remote sensing. We create what's called time series analysis of environmental variables frequently, and then we aim to make city design decisions within the environment rather than at destruction of it. Our passion for landscape means that we garden, we focus on satellite imagery, and we also have a passion for landscape that extends beyond Earth's biosphere and into the universe, which is why we are the regional Australian coordinators for the Moon Village Association. So we became this in 2017, and we bring a landscape-sensitive perspective to the conversation, and that's why we're here today, really, to create a space to have a conversation about issues about going to the moon, and as part of the Moon Village Association. Why I do this? Well, we're actually in the universe now already. It's not something out there, and we feel that by having today's event, we can actually have a dialogue about how we inhabit landscape, the actions that then pervade from our intention through. So that may be through building habitats on the moon, through mining the moon, the medical actions that has as well, and how we inhabit built structures around the moon. So this discussion can really inform, and we can be prepared for how we inhabit off-Earth landscapes. We have some amazing speakers today. Alice Gorman's flown over from Adelaide. We have Rose Tasker, flown over from Tasmania, not Australia, Rose. Anita has flown down from Queensland, Boan from Sydney, and we've got Carlos from iSpace who's flown all the way over from Luxembourg. So look, we've really made a real effort here today to get the right people in the room to have a conversation, and today is about dialogue. It's about relationships. It's about having points of resistance and going beyond them to figure out what is beyond it. And I think this is perhaps something that is the qualities of space. It's an exchange of atoms. It's a movement of things, and I think we can have that together today. So please don't be afraid to ask questions. We want to hear from everybody. We want those questions we're all afraid to ask to be asked, and the speakers are really ready and open to hearing that. So that's really positive. So we want today to be a start. We're not going to answer everything. We're not trying to either by having this event. We're wanting to make a start of these conversations going beyond. The Moon Village Association is a framework which really allows for these conversations to develop throughout the world, globally. It's not a private entity. It's not owned by anybody. So we can really use this framework to take forwards these conversations beyond this event. I wanted to say also, this is a premier event for the Moon Village Association in coordination with World Space Week. This is really a global premiere. They signed an MOU in 2018 supporting each other. So this event is really important to that relationship at the start of this year, the 50th year of the lunar landing, so that's quite an important thing also. You will note that we've got some questions up the back on the table there. If you wouldn't mind filling these out, this is for the Moon Village Association, and these questions will be carried through to Paris in March. There's another event there, the same questions will be asked, and these will be carried out throughout the year. So what we're doing by answering them is contributing to a global understanding of people's current perspective of the space industry and how we go to the moon. And this will be submitted by the Moon Village Association to the United Nations in February of 2020. So it does count, this questionnaire. Please take some time to do that. So look, that's all I wanted to say. Really thanks everyone for coming today. We're going to now show a video prepared by the Moon Village Association, and then we will Skype in live to Rome to meet Giuseppe Ribaldi, the president of the Moon Village Association. So please play the video. If you could all put your hands together to welcome Giuseppe Ribaldi from Rome right now. Hi, Giuseppe.
Yes, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, good evening for you.
Okay, so good morning, and of course, greetings from Rome. It's around midnight here, and I would like, first of all, to thank Thomas, who have organized this event and Office of Outer Space. This is a very important event because, as Thomas said, it's the first event for this year between all over the world. So Australia is ahead of time in terms of actual time clock, but I think also with this event there is, let's say, there is a premiere, has been said, with a dialogue with the public. And so what I will like to do, I would like to show you what this Moon Village Association is about. So I will start first with telling you what is the Moon Village. So the Moon Village, because we have to clarify what it is. So the Moon Village, it is an assemble of effort from many stakeholders, which are government, private industry, and general public. And the goal is of exploring and using the moon resources in a sustainable and conscious way, taking properly into account all the landscape requirements which are needed. So it is a lunar community on the surface and in lunar space. So it is basically a multi-stakeholder community of people which are planning to go to the moon in peace and in cooperation. So the Moon Village is not a duplication of an ISS program, which is centralized, managed by a specific country, and is not a physical village on the moon, and is not a specific moon base. So very often the conception of the Moon Village is associated with the moon base, but is not. So let's see what it is and how to implement the Moon Village. So starting from the present, you are aware of all the different missions which are going to the moon. Maybe a premier landing. Then, of course, we have the Israeli mission as well as the Indian mission. So we have many scouting missions which are going to be launched or being launched as of this year. Then we have in the medium term, there will be a creation of infrastructure on the surface as well as the lunar space, like the Lunar Orbital Gateway program, which is pursued mainly from the United States, but we'll have also a number of data relay satellites around the moon. Then in the longer term, we eventually will have not possibly one outpost, one base, but several bases. What you see on the bottom of this image is our image branding. So on the bottom left, you can see rover, and you can see on the foreground also lander, which are very close to what's happening at the present. And then as you move to the right-hand side, you have more complex infrastructure, including cislunar infrastructure. So the Moon Village is all of this. It's not only a specific location. So what are we going to do and what we are doing on the moon, the Moon Village? Resource utilization. We have to remember that the reason why everybody is aiming to go back to the moon, stay, is not for political reasons, but for economical reasons. Because there is a number of resources which are extremely valuable. And so I think this will help to open new markets. It's, of course, a fundamental location to do science, obviously also as inspiration for the young generation. Technology development, a lot of new technology will be needed on the moon, and they will be also then used for Earth. And so we will be using a lot of what we will learn on the moon village for Earth. And then, of course, we have also space surveillance. We will be able to identify the easier way a near Earth object, and at the end of the day, entertainment. This might be funny, but it is one of the possible and possible major industry of the future. Now the question is, why did we create the Moon Village Association? As Thomas said, it's a non-governmental organization created in 2017 and registered in Vienna. We created because we felt that to implement the vision, the concept of the Moon Village, you need a platform. That's what we are. We are a platform which we see how it operates, and it will allow a number of stakeholders, industry, government, space agency, NGO, and very important for us is the public. So that's why it's so important an event like this one, which is a public forum. We also have an important task in stimulating industry, in trying to create a lunar economy. So the association is constituted of individuals, and we are at the moment 33 countries, more than 200 to 250 people. And then we have also institutional member, which is basically industry university from 10 different countries. Briefly, what are the features of our organization? It has to be neutral. So nobody must have predominance. So it is meant to be neutral. We are going to keep it like that. So as such, it is autonomous. Don't rely on any specific agency. It's a global reach. As you will see, we have all over the world included in our organization. It's inclusive because it's not just involving space people. We are aiming to involve a lot of non-space, because going to the moon and creating the Moon Village is for humanity. It's not just for a group of people. And so this includes also an important cultural aspect. It's of course cooperative, because one of our main goals is to stimulate cooperation between all different parts of the world. At the same time, it's not formal. So people from United States and China, for instance, they can talk to each other without any political constraint. And another important feature is a consensus building. So on different topics, we will try to find common position from the different stakeholders, because at the moment there is no such forum for this kind of discussion. And again, is participative, because we'll really try to engage as many stakeholders as possible, and including the public. So you will have an opportunity, beside filling in the questionnaire, really to provide the good input to our organization, which was not the case in now large programs. Public was there only when the program were decided and were just explained to them. And at the moment, it's a unique platform. So how do we build this Moon Village? I mean, many of you are architects, so I felt good to have a chart which is talking about architecture. So we have explained the concept of the Moon Village, which is a community, but of course it's a very open definition. So we have defined a few months ago a set of principles, which I will show it to you, but you can see them also on the website. And, these are 9 principles. And then, of course, we need to populate the boundary. The principle defines the boundary of the Moon Village, but then we need to populate with real activity, which are mission, as well as which is hardware related, and activity which are more like study, analog activity. And so we are now in the process of defining the first mission, which fulfill the principle that we have laid down. And we will also have a number of activities which will be eligible to become part of the village. And so as of March in Paris, we will announce which one are the first mission we classify as part of the village, as well as a number of activities. I am not going to go through the principle because you can see, but just scanning, they're very general, but still are very important. And we will, these are the boundaries of the moon village, and those has been derived by following conference that in Los Angeles. So I think you can look your leisure time on our website. So I'm now going to go very briefly, because of time constraint, about some of the activities. You saw them in our video, but so an important aspect is global. So we have a number of networks already established, also in alphabetic order. Australia is the first, and you can see many others. The objective of this network is to create local connection and bring expertise of specific country in the global discussion. So you have a premiere here discussing about the environment and environmental impact on the moon, as well as the possible environmental impact of the village for the benefit of citizens. So this is important for us. And so we hope that Australia can give an important contribution because of your sensitivity to this issue. And so we have several, and we really hope to increase even more all over the country, in the world. You have also seen in the viewgraph, in the video, we are also having a number of working groups. We are not going to go through this, but just to show to you that we have topics which are not only scientific. We have outreach and education, as well as cultural consideration, as well as also policy type of working group like coordination and cooperation. So I don't think I want to talk more about important aspects, because we have also an industry session number 4. We are trying to set up and to help the creation of the moon market. So we are promoting all our institutional members. You can see at the bottom, few of them. You can see on the first line, it's mainly hardware-related company. You can see iSpace is there. So we have at least 3, let's say, related hardware-related company, iSpace, team industry scientists. But we have also industry from Japan, as well as the university from China, and we are getting also Russia. So I think the goal of is to make interact all these different stakeholders and then let them then participate in the making different working group and common position. Concretely, what we do, we are trying to involve non-space company, because the moon will be opening a new market, which non-space company like mining are especially suited for that. And you have also a session on that that we are looking forward to a good discussion. So we are giving prizes. We have given a number of prizes in Los Angeles. We're going to do also this year. Finally, we are creating a market board where company can offer goods and service, and others are interested in taking them. And we know already that since we are a bit more than 1 year, already a number of company institutional partners, they told us that thanks to our platform, they manage to get good business and good way forward. So we have also an important outreach aspect, which is dealing with social media, web page, publication, newsletter. Of course, we are inviting you to join our organization and to be informed. We organize a yearly workshop. Last year was in Los Angeles. This year is not far from where you are. It's going to be in Japan from the 5th to the 8th of December. So you are all mostly welcome to come. And obviously, we are trying to then also have a award, as we said, and we are going to present in Paris an initiative which I'm very pleased, which is called Women on the Moon. So we are going to give the detail in Paris, and we will give also press release on that. We have also art competition, everything focused on the moon, and I think that's important. And then finally, the educational aspect, because of course the future is of the young generation. This is the generation which will be living and working in the actual major infrastructure that we are going to develop. So we are partnering with For Mankind, is developed already a book, and I think we have is also our website, a PDF, and so it is a summary of the history. So we try to indeed organize events also in school. So I think we have a lot of activity. It's all a volunteer organization. So you are mostly welcome if you feel you want to be committed to the movement to really help us. I will just like conclude giving you an outlook of some of the events to show you how global is the organization. So today I'm physically in Rome, but I am with you in spirit in Melbourne. And you can see a number of events which are United Kingdom, France, United States, Japan, Austria, Italy, uh, and so on. So I think this shows you that we really are a global organization. So with that, I think I more or less kept my scheduled time. I would like to thank you again, Thomas, and the organization of this event. And I'd like to wish you a wonderful day, and really looking forward to your support and your engagement using the platform, which is the Moon Village Association. Thank you, and I wish you a great day to all of you. Thank you, and this is from Rome.
Thank you, Giuseppe. Thank you, Giuseppe.